Hello everyone, my name is Anisha Roy and I'm an intern at Lexis & Company. Today through this video I would be discussing about default bail and what is the procedure for getting default bail and in particular. So let's proceed. The procedure for getting default bail is given in section 167 clause 2 of CRPC 1873, and if a person is arrested without warrant, then he cannot be detained in the police custody for more than 24 hours without the permission of the magistrate as per section 57 of CRPC. We know that. So if a person is arrested and detained in the custody, and if the police officer thinks that the investigation cannot be completed in 24 hours and the accusation imposed on that person is well founded, then the officer in charge of the police station or the police officer who is making the investigation, and he must be below the rank of sub-inspector, he shall immediately send a copy of the entries as well as the accused to the nearest judicial magistrate. It is not necessary here that the magistrate must have the jurisdiction to try this case. If the magistrate is not available, then the copy of the entries and the accused may be sent to that executive magistrate who has the power of judicial magistrate or the metropolitan magistrate. And when the accused comes to the judicial magistrate, then it is immaterial whether he has jurisdiction or not to try the case. And if that magistrate thinks that detention is necessary, then he may give an order for detention, but this detention could not be given for more than 15 days as per section 167 clause 2 of CRPC. Okay, and this custody of 15 days may be either judicial custody or police custody, as the magistrate may thinks fit. Further, the magistrate can also remand the accused person even to the military, naval or air force custody, and if with such accused person is subject to military, naval or air force law. Okay, so if a magistrate who has no jurisdiction to try the case, if it thinks that the further detention is necessary, then whether he has he thinks that whether he shall authorize for the detention or not, and if it thinks that further detention is required, then he may authorize further detention of the period of 90 days, including that 15 days where the investigation is related to an offence that is punishable with death, imprisonment for life, and the imprisonment for a period of not less than 10 years. And he may also for the detention for the period of 60 days. That means he may the further detention from the period for the period of 60 days from the end of that 15 days that was earlier given. So after that, where the investigation relates to any kind of any other offense. So if the investigation relates to any other offense, then this furthering of the detention could be made for a period of 60 days, including that 15 days. Okay. And after 15 days, the accused can only be kept in the judicial custody or any other custody as ordered by the magistrate, but not in the custody of the police. It is an important point to note here. And the accused person must be present before the magistrate when the magistrate authorizes his detention to the accused person to the police custody for the first time. But when the magistrate authorizes the accused person of further detention to the judicial custody, then the accused person may be produced either physically or through other electronic medium that is also given under section 167 clause subsection 2 clause B. Regarding signature, the signature of the accused person is taken so that in the later it could be shown that the accused has been present when the detention was given, and that he was also produced before the magistrate, and it is necessary that the person should be they should be given right to defend, to put his views, and put that what you think about your detention, and what is your opinion that whether you were involved in the offense or not. All these things are taken into consideration while furthering the detention. And if a lady who is under the age of 18 years and she is then she will be detained in remand home or any recognized social institutions. It is also one of the rules that is mentioned in CRPC. The magistrate has also to record his reasons for authorizing the detention in the police custody. It is mandatory to do, and second, and it is also mandatory on the part of the magistrate. Sorry for the disturbance. The magistrate has to exercise his judicial mind while deciding the detention of the accused person, and the order of the detention is not to be passed mechanically as a routine order on the request of the police for remand. It is to be noted. Okay. According to section 167 clause 2 section it is then it is said that the second class magistrate have no power to detain the accused in police custody. The total prescribed statutory period of 90 days and the 60 days is to be counted from the date of the magistrate authorizes detention of an accused person and not from the date of the arrest. If the magistrate, if he authorizes the detention on the very date of arrest of the person, then the period of the detention of the 60 days and the 90 days is to be counted from the date of his arrest. Okay. Basically, this time period of 60 days and 90 days is given to the accused person who is making the investigation. This time period of 60 days or 90 days is given to the police officer who is making investigation to complete the investigation and submit the charge sheet. And if the charge sheet is not submitted, then this thing comes. So when the charge sheet is not submitted within the prescribed period by the investigating agency, then this default bail comes into picture, we understood. And this default bail is granted in such a manner that it is deemed to be granted under chapter 33 of the CRPC, and there is a condition that until and unless the accused person is prepared to get bail, he shall remain in the custody, and further detention is not ipso facto illegal or void. Here the magistrate cannot use his discretion in giving bail. He has to give a bail, and this is the absolute right of the accused. And once default bail is granted, it cannot be cancelled on mere filing of the charge sheet. Now this provision for the default bail is given in section 167 of CRPC, and it does not bar an accused from seeking regular bail on merits under section 437 or section 439 of the CRPC when he is in custody during the investigation, and if such bail application was rejected by the courts on merits, then it does not affect the accused right to apply for the default bail. And all those prisoners who are in the custody beyond the statutory period and the charge sheet, they are not yet filed, then they can seek to explore this remedy to be released on a statutory bail immediately, and the denial of the same would also amount to violation of the fundamental right, and it will also be against the spirit of the law that is also laid down. And the Supreme Court has also said about this in many of the cases which we will discuss later on. Thank you. I hope you all understood.